morning. Let's start with our standing wide lateral poses warm up. So stand wide, ankles about under your wrists, toes turned out. Guess we're going to be bending our knees. Inhale your arms slowly out to the side and up. And exhale slowly forward, bend your knees a little bit or a lot. And come down. And arms out to the side, inhale back up. And exhale down. Keep moving. Warming up large muscles in the legs, particularly warming up the back, the hips a little bit, the shoulders, the arms. One more time down, and when we come up, this time we're going to add in Goddess. So your inhale lifts you up. And your exhale takes you slowly down to Goddess. Finish your exhale while you hold it. And then inhale your way slowly back up to Starfish. Finish your inhale. And then exhale, forward bend and stoop. Keep doing that. Adding Goddess in. Moving slowly, being aware. Well, this is the new camera, so this should be sharper, I hope. I can't tell because I'm looking at myself on the laptop, and you know, depending on the angle with the laptop, it can be fuzzy. And Goddess, we're going to add in the side stretches, a version of triangle. Exhale to Goddess. And inhale right into the side stretch with straight legs. Don't let your body turn, go sideways. Exhale back to Goddess. Inhale into the stretch. You inhale so you get a deeper stretch. So inhale deeply, stretch from the inside. Exhale to Goddess. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, scoop. We'll keep doing that for a while. We're going to do a bunch of twists today. Twists are good for the internal organs, good for the digestive system, good for the back. Obviously, seated twists. As I've mentioned before, do not do the seated twists if you currently have bulging or ruptured discs. That's just going to squeeze them and perhaps make them bulge or hurt even more. Standing or forward bending or lying down twists are generally okay because your vertebrae stays separated, doesn't squeeze as much. One more time, all the way through. Stop at the Goddess after the two side stretches. Goddess in between. Exhale to Goddess. And let's inhale up, turn your right foot out 90 degrees, left foot straight ahead. Exhale to Warrior Two. Let's just add this as part of the flow. So inhale up, Right foot forward, left foot out. Exhale, warrior two. Watch your knee, don't let it go past your heel. Inhale up, both feet forward, toes turned out. And exhale, scoop. And we'll do the whole sequence, including the warrior twos. Goddess. Side stretch. Goddess. Side stretch. Goddess. Inhale, starfish. Turn your right foot out. Exhale, warrior two. Watch your knee. Inhale, back up. Foot forward, left foot out. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale up, both feet forward, toes turned out a little bit. One more time through. And we're going to add in two poses at the end from the warrior two. And we'll do it this time, actually. Side stretch. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, arms up, right foot out. Exhale to warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. However you do it with this arm, it can be in a number of different ways. Exhale to triangle, straight leg, don't lean forward. Inhale, back up to reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, change sides. Exhale, warrior two. Virabhadrasana two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, triangle, tilt the pelvis. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. And inhale, start at the beginning, toes turned out, scoop. Whoops, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, triangle. Inhale up, right foot forward, left foot out. One inhale if you can. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, reverse. Number two. I don't know if I did this right on the other side, doesn't matter. Inhale, up. And exhale, lower your arms. We're going to do our first twist here. We're pretty warmed up for it. Should be okay. I highly recommend that you use a block or a blanket or a book or a pillow or whatever you use. So if you're still turned out, it's going to be a forward bend with a twist. In Hatha Yoga, this is considered a revolved triangle, one version of it. So inhale your arms up. Let's go into it yogishly. Exhale, swan dive. Right fingers in the center. The block is equally between your feet, a little bit forward. So your hand is a little bit forward in a straight line from your toes. Right hand on the block, however you want to do it. Left hand hanging down, thumb pointing forward. Keep the thumb pointing the same way as you slowly twist, lifting that left arm up. Again, you don't pull back with your arm on your shoulder. You just go as far as your twist goes. So it's straight out from the shoulder. Hold it. Try to keep both knees straight. And we use a block because We can twist. It's easier on the back. And the hips, we can go further into the pose than if we're stretched down to the floor and pulling more tightly on our hamstrings. This is more about the twist than about the hamstrings. Lower that hand down, change sides, like right thumb points forward. Eventually the palm will be pointing away, but the right thumb will still be pointing forward. Hold the twist. One side may go further than the other. Try to keep your knees straight. Try not to push back with your arm. It's just straight out from the shoulder. Lengthen your spine, even in here, as if you were standing. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Lower down. You can remove the block or just move it forward. Toes are still turned out. Take your right hand and wrap it around the front of the left leg. Palm on the shin bone, fingers around the outside, and maybe curling around the back of the calf. You can be just below the knee, or you can be down further, closer to the ankle. Whatever you can do, keeping that left knee straight, not locked, but not bent, straight. Hold your left leg with your right hand, reach your left arm up and pull your head down towards your left knee. So this is a stretch, hold the pose. A stretch and a twist. Another version of revolved triangle. Stay there, feel the stretch. Your body will get used to it and it'll loosen up a little bit. You might be able to go a little bit further. Head towards your knee a little bit more. Pay attention to how you feel. Pay attention to where the tight places are. And notice when they perhaps become less tight. And see if you can follow that edge. Make it tight again. Make it a challenging stretch. You can put your left arm on your back if you don't like it having it up in the air. Come back to center. Right hand around the front of the shin. Thumb is up. Wrap your fingers around the back. You can have your right arm up or let it rest on your back. Pull your head down toward your right knee. And hold. And twist. Twist, stretch. Stretch, twist. And pay attention to how it feels. Where you feel it more. Try to keep your right knee straight. Don't lock it. Don't all of a sudden notice it's bent and jerk it back straight. Please always adjust when you see something out of alignment or a different way of doing something. Adjust slowly. And release. We come to center. Come to seated. Cross-legged. Left leg in front. You know if your left knee hurts or your left hip, you put a block under that. Even if it can go down, maybe pulling too much, so you still put something under it, a block or a folded blanket to keep it lifted. Feel it. If it's painful, lift it and support it with something underneath. Don't do it just because you can and it still hurts. Left leg is in front, inhale, lengthen. And your right leg can be straight forward if your right knee doesn't like to be compressed this much and a block doesn't help. Stretch down. Hold the stretch. Loosening up the back, loosening up the hips a little bit for some more twists. And I would highly recommend, if you have any kind of back or hip or knee pain, you sit on a folded blanket. It can be just one folded, long and skinny. Make it a little bit higher. Yoga blankets or You can get the ones that are called Mexican blankets or even rugs. They're not as fluffy, so when you sit on them, they don't sink down, which is why we like using them. They're tight weave, and they're not fluffy, so when you fold them over, they actually stay a little bit higher. Inhale slowly back up, and exhale, twist to your left, the right, the leg in front, wherever that leg is. Lean back, lift your chest. Once you get there, lift your chest. Try to use your muscles to keep your spine lengthened. Get a gentle squeeze on the disc this way, but if you can keep your spine lengthened, it stays gentle and it makes room for the twist to happen. So use your muscles to keep your spine long without lifting your shoulders, just keeping your spine long without overarching your low back. Make sure your right buttock stays down equal to the left. With your inhale, come slowly back to center, other leg in front, right, I think. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, reach forward, down, and stretch with all my cues and all my other suggestions. Sometimes forget if I told you the correct leg or the same leg as I am. I think I did. I think it's your right leg in front. Stretching your back a little bit so that it's not tight when you twist. I found out something interesting in the book that Donna had recommended to me. Donna was in my gentle class. She was kind of in the back corner with her husband. This was the book. I have two by the same person. The second book is as good, but it's called How to Die Young at a Ripe Old Age. And he talks about turmeric. And to him, in his studies, he's found that turmeric is a very important supplement. It's one of his recommended supplements in all of his books. But he said something interesting. Inhale, slowly back up. Exhale, twist to the right. Lengthen up, left buttock down, hold the twist. We know generally now that curcumin is supposedly more easily bioavailable. It's absorbed more easily in the body. That's the derivative of turmeric. Usually your turmeric is curcumin or it has curcumin in it. But the other thing that, and when we did this even in yoga, we always had yoga tea and had turmeric in it, or golden milk would have turmeric in it, and always had black pepper. And that was just the way it was made. Turns out black pepper helps the absorption of turmeric. And I don't remember the exact number, but I was really surprised. It's like 2,000 times more effective, the turmeric, with black pepper. You absorb 2,000 times more than you would without it. And back to center, which I thought was really interesting. And this has black turmeric in it. It's golden milk. And I ordered some turmeric supplements now that have black pepper in it, because mine did not. And I thought, can't hurt, right? It's just black pepper. Okay, both feet to the right. And if it's hard for you to sit up straight, without, hanging on because your hips are tight and your back is tight and it's throwing you over, one thing to do is you can bring that left foot out a little bit. So the left foot is touching your right inner thigh. It also can be hard on the knee, either one, in which case another way to stay up straight is to sit on a blanket a little bit more under your left hip. It's just a little bit under my right, but it's mostly under my left hip and left leg. And that helps me sit up straighter as well. And again, if it's hard on the knee, try putting something under. If it's this knee, if it's the bottom knee, you might sit on 2 blankets. Or if this just isn't doable, again, have one leg straight forward. Otherwise, twist to the right. Feet are to the right, twisting to the right. Once you get there, lengthen up. Sink your buttocks back down so they're more or less equal. The right one's going to be a little less down than the left. And hold the twist. All these different twists pull. And they pull a lot of the same areas and stretch them and work a lot of the same areas, but they also work slightly different areas, each twist. A gentle class today, we're going to do a seated flow with the breath. It's a real easy way to start to learn how to move with the breath, but the seated flow is really good before bed. It's all the kind of poses that is recommended to do before bed, but it also gives you that nice, slow, relaxing breath, which helps calm the central nervous system and quiet the mind. So if you find yourself tossing and turning, and if you can, get up and go into another room. You don't even need your mat, really, or you can just go to the foot of your bed. Can't really do it in bed. You can do the flow that we're going to learn in the gentle class. Come back to center, both feet to the right. This time the blanket might be more under your, or to the left, sorry, under your right hip. Get yourself situated so that it's more or less comfortable as you can make it. And twist to the left. Lengthen up once you get there. Lift your chin. Lengthening the back of the neck has to do more with actually tucking the chin to make the back of the neck long, but don't overdo it. Hold the twist. So anyway, and if you can't stay for the gentle class, I am recording as always, so it will be available on YouTube. You can just watch the gentle part if you want. Until you know the flow, or you can have it set up on your phone to watch the YouTube thing. Like at night, it will be the last 30 minutes of the class. You just fast forward or drag the thing forward to 1 hour and 15 minutes point when the gentle starts. Music today right now is Enya, and I think I'm just going to keep it. So I forgot to turn it to gentle the last time when we got to the gentle class. Come back to center. Right leg straight forward, left foot touching your right inner thigh. We're going to do this the way the Jews classes are taught in the class that I attended for low back issues, and that is to shift this right leg forward a little bit. So you're already turning to the left a little bit. Yeah, I'm already angled a little bit. This foot stays here, same place. This leg goes a little bit forward. And then you twist to the left and lengthen up. That kind of keeps your shoulders and your hips more in the same line, but still gives you a little bit of extra twist. Hold the pose. And remember this, when we do any seated twist with this left leg, you can slide your leg forward even if I don't say anything about doing that, because sometimes I don't. Sometimes we do it differently. If you have back issues and you find that this makes it better for your back, then do it that way. I may be moving the class to the living room. I actually am getting a living room back. Unbelievable. It still has some of its stuff in it, but I cleaned out more of it yesterday. And it would be a nice place to have class because it's definitely not cluttered. Come back, center, shift your right leg back, change sides, right foot in, left leg forward, and then slide that left leg, that hip, turn a little bit towards your right, sliding that hip forward, and then twist to the right, lift up, put your left buttock down. You don't want to lift where you arch and pull that left buttock up like this. See the difference? That's lifting and lifting it up. This is keeping it sinking down, but still long spine. Hold the twist. But I can hope to have it for next Tuesday. I doubt if I'll have it sorted out by the Saturday class, but I don't know. There's really not that much to do, but there's just so many other things to do. Let's see. I'm not the type, as you probably have figured out, to stress over getting it all neat and tidy and clean in 5 minutes. It'll happen when it happens. You have books to read, right? Naps to take. Come back to center, please. Okay, some of the more traditional twists. So, right leg straight forward. Now, how do I want to do this? Left leg straight forward. And angle your left leg a little bit over to the right. This is straightforward, this is a little bit to the right. And cross your right leg over top. See if you can have your foot flat. So, adjust this leg however you need to. This right leg is down just slightly above the knee. So the ankle is not pushing against the knee, but a little bit above. And again, a blanket will keep you nice and straight. So sit on a blanket. You're going to twist to the right, toward the bent knee. So right hand behind you. Then you can put the right hand on a block. And let's do this first with leaning forward. Push with your right hand. Lean forward. Your chest is going to run into your leg. And wrap your left arm around the front of your right leg, just below the knee. Hold on to your thigh if you can. And once you're there, then lengthen up a little bit. Don't pull too much on the knee or the shoulder, but this does give you a good stretch through the upper back. Twist. And stay down, leaning forward a little bit if you want, but try to lengthen up. Don't let this hand slide. Try to hold on to this. If this is just won't work for your shoulder, then just hold on to your knee on the outside and use this as the pressure. You pull a little bit with your left hand, pull a little bit with your right hand behind you, hold the twist. I know. I'm going to time it differently because you were already there for a while. I hope the camera is working well. We did test it. It seemed much clearer when I looked at the other computer. And David tested. He looked on his phone. Slowly untwist and uncross. Now your right leg is forward. Your right leg is going to go a little bit to the right. Make it a little bit easier to cross your left leg over top and keep it flat. Even if it has to be down a little bit more past the knee, not against the knee, either past or above. And again, if you're on a blanket, you won't be thrown back. as much with this tight hamstring. And sit up straighter. So please sit on a blanket or a pillow. Twist to the left the first time is leaning forward, wrapping your arm around, or just holding it. Lift up and twist. And I'm just going to hold it this time because my right shoulder doesn't like this deep hold. From lengthen up, hold the twist. Can't believe we finally figured out how to do music after all this time. It is a little convoluted, but it's working. I want to see what you're playing. And yeah. Okay, come out of it slowly. Now we're going to go back, twisting to the right again. So your left leg can be forward. You can cross it again, or if you want, bring your left foot, bend your knees, bring your left leg underneath your right, bring your left heel back by your right hip. See, I lean over a little bit, just bring that leg back. Just slightly, it may look like it's more, but it's just slightly under my right buttock. And then I cross my left, just above the knee. And if this doesn't work, you can just have it sitting beside like this. You don't have to cross it. If crossing throws you all out of whack and you can't sit up straight and you're struggling, don't do it. If you can cross with your knee up. I bring my left knee over as far as I can to make room for my right foot. And right hand behind you this time. See if you can hook your left elbow to the outside of your right leg. Just slightly above the knee so you're not pushing right on the knee. Keep the palm facing up. Don't let the arm hang, hyperextending your elbow. Lengthen up. Pull yourself around. Sink your buttocks back down. Hold the twist. This is a deep twist. If this doesn't work with your hooking your arm, hold it again. And your left leg can be forward. And you can hold it again. It doesn't matter. You can do a twist twice the same way and you can get more out of it. In our younger classes, they do maybe 3 or 4 poses and they focus just on those and they keep doing those over and over again with different props, with different ways of doing it, with feeling what it feels like, because the body gradually starts to change as you do the poses over and over again. So it's okay to do the same twist twice. That's the one that your body likes. The other one is a little bit too challenging. Rather than just stopping and not doing anything, do the same twist. And come back to center. Now, again, you can have your right leg straight forward and take it across and put down, or bend your knees, bring your right foot underneath your left leg, take it back toward the left hip, maybe just slightly under the left hip, not so far that you're actually sitting on it, on the buttock. Just the heel, you can just feel it slightly under your left hip. Bring your right knee as far forward as you can. I make mine about center line so that I can cross my left leg over top. Again, you can have it here if that's the way it works better for you, and you can just hold. You don't have to hook your elbow, but if you can hook your right elbow to the outside with your right hand up, lengthen up, push with your behind arm so you don't lean back. Keep it straight if you can. Twist, pull the twist. I will label this twisting. more twisting poses in Hatha, just so I remember what it is if you're looking for a class that has more twists in it. There's ginger and cinnamon as well as cardamom. Usually tastes good too, which is important. There are a lot of other seated twists. A lot of other, all kinds of twists. Revolve, warrior two, revolved triangle, but we're just doing some of them today. Okay, untwist. Let's do some recline twists. Most of them you're familiar with. We're going to do the one that I think is the best first. We've done enough seated twists and things that I think we're loose enough to do it because I don't want to miss it. And then we can do the other twists after. So this one, I'm going to do it this way so you can see you're still lying on your mat sideways. And both knees is on the mat. Press your right knee over your left knee, like you're sitting in a chair. Shift your hips to the right, just your hips, and see how it lifts my right hip when I shift my hips to the right. It lifts my right hip up a little bit. And so I can more easily and comfortably lower my legs to the left. I might shift a little bit more. And I bring my knees a little bit up to the chest, but I don't overdo it. Just a little bit to stretch the back, keeping the back flat with that shifting of the hips. So this bottom hip is at the same level this way as the top hip. And then you can rotate your chest toward the ceiling. Rotate your whole rib cage to the right a little bit. You can have support underneath your arm if your arm doesn't go to the floor comfortably without pulling on your shoulder, right? You don't want to pull on your shoulder. Hold the twist. This is a great stretch, great twist. Very similar to the chiropractic adjustment for the SI joint if it gets out of alignment. So you might hear an adjustment. You feel an adjustment in what will feel like your low back. And it's right by the SI joints. Usually it can be the low back that gets adjusted as well. This is a great, and it's good to do this one after you're warmed up, after you've done some other things. Because sometimes you won't get that adjustment or you won't get that full benefit of the twist if it's not warmed up. I know when I had back pain, this was the one that would realign me after I learned about yoga. I've been practicing for a while, but it wouldn't work if I just kind of, my SI joint, my back started bothering me and I'd go down and try to do it in the middle of the day, it wouldn't adjust. But it does if you're warmed up, if you're just from a hot shower or something. Sometimes that's all you need. Okay, come out of the twist. Both knees bent. Shift you back to flat. Cross your left over your right. Left over right, hips go left. The knees go right. Shift a little bit more if you need to. Support your left arm if you need to. I hold my leg with my right hand. Twist, try to turn your chest to the ceiling without pushing to extremes. Pay attention to what feels right and where you feel it in your body. And always, always move into anything slowly. This is a stretch. It's one of the best ones. It's like reclined pigeon for the SI joint. Sometimes I would do reclined pigeon and hold it for 2 or 3 minutes, and then I would do the twist, and sometimes that would be enough warm-up for me. Come slowly out of the twist. And take a moment to shift your back to flat. Hug both knees in towards your chest. Little rock side to side. Massage your back. Your back is being stretched with your knees hugged in. It's allowing those muscles to touch the floor more easily so they can get a massage. Just gentle rocking side to side. Now another one that we're really familiar with is take your strap. Start with both knees bent. Put the strap around the ball of the right foot so you get more of a calf stretch. Shift your hips to the right. So your right hip starts to lift a little bit. I straighten out my left leg and take my right leg across. And I usually have to shift a little bit more to get this nice and straight up and down. And hold the twist, and everything applies as far as your shoulder goes. If you can't rotate your torso to the right a lot so your arm is comfortably down, just let your arm rest on your side. Maybe your elbow will drop toward the back, or put a support underneath your elbow. Hold the twist. I'm sorry I keep reminding you about the arm and the shoulder and the elbows and all that stuff when you twist, but we may have somebody in who hasn't been here for a while or ever, and they don't know these things. They'll be pulling to try to get their arm down, pulling on their shoulder and hurting their shoulder. So I do repeat some of the cues, some of the instructions in every class. I may not go into as much detail in every class, but I don't want you to hurt yourselves. Twist, bring that right leg back up, lower it down, start with both knees bent, put the strap around the ball of the left foot, lift it up, shift your hips to the left, and you can straighten out your right leg if you want as you take that left leg across the body, hold on to that side. The knee can be slightly bent, and it doesn't even have to touch the ground. If it doesn't, you can always have a block for your left foot, for your foot to rest on, as well as a blanket or something for your arm, your left arm. Think about how you can use pillows and blocks and things to be able to do it without pain and still be able to actually do it and feel the stretch. You don't want so many supports that you're not feeling anything, it's just lazy. But you do want supports so that you don't have pain and so that you can do it. Even if you think you're not doing it very much, you're not getting much out of it, you are. And sometimes it's okay. If it's gentle and you don't feel much of a stretch, that's okay. You don't always have to push yourself. Gentle is giving you benefit as well, mentally. Look, I'm being gentle with myself. I love myself. I'm kind to myself. Get those messages, believe me. Slowly back up. Release. Take a moment to hug your knees and rock side to side, and we're about ready to start core. So if you're staying for core, you might want to move some of your props out of the way. And let's start lying on our backs. And let's do the side to side, kind of a twisting pose here, but it works lateral muscles. better. Fingers behind your head, right knee in, left leg out parallel to the mat. You can keep the left leg a little higher. You can keep the straight, whichever it's going to be straight, a little bent. Left elbow to right knee, and change sides slowly. Work slowly. Kind of work at my speed. Left knee in, right knee in, left leg parallel or out. Left knee in, right knee in. That slowly, and keep going, please. This works the upper and the lower abs, the obliques across the body, waist, kind of side muscles. Finish right elbow to left knee, and then hug both knees in, rock side to side. Now if you tend to have low back pain, sometimes this one can aggravate your back, so you don't want to do it. We're going to be rocking forward and back. And it's really important that you keep your back rounded, your chin tucked, your head toward your knees. So you're rounding, you're rotating and rolling on a rounded back, and it's not a flat back, it goes back hard. If you can't do the rolling, you can just come to seated and just go back a little bit and come back up. You don't have to roll, but you can still work the same abs, right? Otherwise, you lying on your back with your knees tucked in. You can hold over the shins just below the knees or on the hamstrings. That way you get a little more momentum with your feet. You can do it this way and still get some momentum. This one holding here is kind of push up a little better. So it's a little easier this way. And in some ways it's easier this way because you can lift your legs. So do what works for you. We're going to roll up and balance. So don't forget when you roll back down to tuck your chin. Roll up and balance. Don't let your feet tuck. Then round slowly back down, tucking your chin in. Try to control it. Then roll back and back up. Just before you're down on the mat, rounding down, do a little bit of a roll so you can come back up. Keep moving. Upper abs primarily, but you get low abs in here too. Move slowly, especially just take slow coming back down and just almost down, then a little fast so you have some momentum to roll back up. Try to balance when you come up. If your feet touch down, that's okay. Every once in a while that happens. We're going to do this for a little bit, and we're going to keep adding to it. Each successive thing is more challenging. If you find it's too challenging, go back to whatever you were doing previously. And again, you can always do just some rollbacks. You can reach different ways, rolling back if you're not able to roll on your spine. Okay, now you're going to come up and balance without holding your legs. So you're going to let go of your legs after you come up. And balance for just a second. Then you're going to hold your legs again and roll slowly back down. So wherever you're holding, roll up and balance. And hold it and reach your arms forward. And if you want, you can lift your legs a little bit. And then lower your legs, hold on to them again, tuck your chin, slow roll back. And back up, release, keeping the knees bent and in close-ish. And then bend them, hold them, roll back. Watch your shoulders. Don't let your shoulders be coming up towards your neck as you do this. Keep going. Okay, roll back down. Pause for a moment. Rock a little bit side to side. Keep your back massaged so the muscles are loose and not straining. And we are going to straighten our legs and reach toward our toes. And then bend them and come back down. We're going to try to straighten our legs as much as we can. If your hamstrings are tight, don't worry about it. Just straighten them just a little bit or as much as you can, reaching towards your toes. So everything is the same to start. Roll up in balance. Reach towards your feet as you lift them up. So you don't have to have them straight. You can if you want, but that's hard. Hug your knees, tuck, roll back down, come up, reach toward your toes, and then bend, come back down, and come up. Keep doing that for a little bit. Next one you're going to love. It's good for the brain. I know. Everybody said, oh no, not a good for the brain one. Next time down, stay down. Hug your knees in, rock a little bit side to side. It's like when my cat gives me a look, I think, and I pretend that she's saying something or other like, oh, you don't like that, do you? Or, oh, what, you want your dinner? What are you saying? Well, I'm doing the same with y'all. You probably aren't thinking anything along the lines of what I think you are. Okay, you're going to alternate straight legs. You can do this. We usually do it staying on one side, keeping one leg straight. This time we're going to alternate. So you're going to start hugging both legs. And again, behind the hamstring is fine. And you're going to roll up and stick your right leg out and bring it back. So, roll back, right leg out, and in, and left leg out, and in, and right. This is not the slow back that we should be doing. So try to make it a little bit slower, but bringing your leg back will make you roll back a little bit faster. Keep moving. Make sure your back is round. Don't hit the mat hard. Remember those things we used to use to cut up nuts and stuff? That's how you need to be rounded like that. Your back. Come down and hug both knees in and rock side to side. lie on your side with your legs straight, toes pointed. Try to notice, look at your hips, and try to see the top hip is right above the bottom hip. And then roll it back a little bit and see how the top hip is a little bit behind the bottom hip. Notice the difference, and as you roll it back, notice how it feels on the bottom leg, that roll. You don't want that roll to happen when you do this. And your body will try to make it happen because your body tries to do things easier for you. And when you roll back and you lift your legs, you're using your quadriceps, which are a very strong muscle, and your abs when you lift. And you can lift up higher too, roll back. But we want to work a muscle in here that doesn't get much strengthening or toning. And you want to work that because that supports the SI joint area. It's across, it's here, and it goes across, and it supports that SI joint that I was talking about with the twist in the other class, so that it doesn't slide, dislocate as often. It has support. So try to stack your hips, have your legs straight down. You can rest down on your arm if it's hard. I mean, you don't have to prop your head in your hand. You can rest on a block or a pillow with your head. Top hand is in front for balance. Don't push on it real hard to try to lift. Try to just have it here for balance. This lift is small. Just lift. See, I'm just getting so that my bottom leg is coming off the mat just above the knee. And my hips are still stacked. I'm not rolling back and lower down. Little lift to work that particular area, that particular group of muscles. Not rolling back, getting a big lift, right? Little lift. It may even feel like that top hip is moving forward when you lift. It's not. If you look at it, it's not, but it feels like it is. Because it's not used to doing this. These muscles are not strong. Keep moving. Slowly. Make it slow, because I'm timing this. This is going to be long-ish. This is really, really good for backs. It's supporting around the hip SI joint area. If you tend to have SI joint pain, sciatic pain, which is often SI joint involved, do this every day. Next week we're going to do some other hip things in this gentle class. Probably Tuesday though. Like we did the standing ones last Tuesday, we're going to do the lying down ones. If you want a copy of that, that'll be recorded. Okay, release. Then come over to the other side. Get your alignment. Take time to work on it. Don't assume that as soon as you lay on your side, you're there. Check your hips. Do a little bit of a roll back. Feel what it feels like on that bottom leg. You shouldn't feel that on that. Your leg will be lifted. You feel it in the hip. You shouldn't feel that roll. Both legs straight down. Heels lined up with your hips, lined up with your shoulders. You can lay all the way down. And slowly lift and lower your legs. Just a little lift. See how much I'm lifting? Just enough that it's my hip and my upper thigh that are still on the ground. My legs stay together. Work those muscles. Work them correctly. Get the benefit of the movement. I used to one of my chiropractors gave me this movement, as well as a few others. I told him, if it's going to make me better, then I won't have to come and see him as much. And he said he didn't care. It's more important that I be well. Okay, lower down. Pull over onto your back again. Let's work a little bit more with the abs, upper abs, with one of our regular upper ab workouts. Bend both knees, feet on the mat. Interlace your fingers. Point your index finger. Lift up to wherever you can reach between your knees. Staying low. You're not coming up to seated. Reach as far as you can to start, and then try to reach just a tiny bit further with little pumps. 1, and then back to start. So still lifted. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Release. Rest for a moment. We're going to do 2 more of those. Having your abs toned is important for your back. Having them tight is not good for your back, but having them toned so that you can do things with ab muscles that you would normally be doing with your back. And in time you can strain your back by doing everything with your back. Realize your fingers. Lift up again, and again pump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Release. Rest for a moment. You can hug your knees if you want. Rock a little bit. Last one. Lift and pump. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest for a moment. Legs up. Let's do one isolating the lower abs. The knees can be bent or your legs can be straight. Lift your low back off the mat, your feet to the ceiling a little bit. Not a big lift. Don't lift up to your shoulders or your neck like a shoulder stand. This is for the low abs, so just try to get your low back off the mat as you reach up. Again, don't reach, bring your feet up toward above your head. That's not working your abs as much. Just 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug your knees in. Rock. Now let's do some for the whole back, and then some, maybe one or two for just the low back, which tends to be the area that you use a lot. It might need to be a little bit stronger. Come to your hands and knees. Do this slowly. Bring your right knee across to the left arm. Straighten it back. Keep the knee lifted as you bend it. And tap it with your left hand. Take it across a little bit and then down. Left knee to right. Take it back. Keep it lifted as you bend it and tap it. And straighten it out. And lower down. Right to left. And back. Tap. And back. And down. Left to right. And back. Tap. And back. And down. And keep moving slowly. Working low and mid back. A little bit the upper back when you reach back and tap. We're going to do, if we have time, one that's a little bit deeper for the upper back. Mid back and upper back. Move the left leg, do the left leg one last time. And then come to hands and knees and sit back on your heels, stretch your back, reach your arms forward. Separate your knees to make room for the belly to breathe deeply. Okay, this is a two-part set. This is primarily for the low back, the buttocks, which also helps to support the SI joint area. Come down onto your forearms. Get your left leg straight back. Your right knee is basically under your hip. You're going to lift the left leg up. And this time you can lift it higher than the buttocks. But try not to lift it till you're tilting over to the side. Try to keep your belly facing the floor. And touch your toes down. Lift and touch. 3. And touch. Moving slowly. 4. Touch. 5. Touch. 6. Toes keep pointing down. You don't turn your foot to your hip. 7. 8. 9. 10. You're going to add something to it. You're going to lift, bring the heel to the butt, straighten it back out, and lower down. 2. Bend, keeping the knee lifted. Don't bring it down here to bend. Keep it lifted. Straighten it out. Down. Toe touch. Don't bend your knee. 3. Bend. Straighten. Lower. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. And let's rest back in child's pose for a moment. Stretch. Bending your knee while that leg is lifted. Works the back of the body more because the front of the body, the quadriceps, is trying to pull. It's pulling, so bending your knee, you have to use more of the back muscles to get your heel to the glute without lowering your knee. So it's just adding a little bit of tension, like a band, like working against one of those exercise bands, only you're using quadricep, you're working against that. Back up to your forearms. Right leg straight back. Just lift to begin with. 1, touch down. 2, touch. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boy, the gentle class is going to be very welcome today. 8, 9, 10. Lift, try to keep it lifted, bend, straighten, lower. 2, bend, straighten, lower. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and go back. Yeah, we're not going to have time for the other one, but that's okay. We do it pretty regularly. Sit back on your heels, stretch your back. This is more important. And you can lay on your belly and turn your head to the side and rest for a moment, or lay on your back and have your knees in and rock a little bit. We're done. But we have a minute and a half or so to go before gentle. Again, the gentle class is going to be a gentle flow using the breath, and a great routine before bed. Quiets and calms and relaxes the central nervous system, breath and movements. Traditionally in yoga we do closing up the front of the body, folding forward at the end of the day to relax us, help us prepare for sleep, and this does a lot of that. And we'll get plenty of good stretching with it. We're going to go through the sequence a number of times before we add on another step. Again, it can be hard to remember, so it will be recorded, and if you want it, just let me know. We're going to start with a nice gentle warm-up first, just to warm up our backs a little bit before we get started. So seated cross-legged, it doesn't matter which leg is in front or on top, and you can change halfway through if it gets tired. And I do recommend, it's always nice to sit on blankets for hips, and to put blocks underneath your knees for hips or knees. And let's just circle a small circle, circling your navel. Think about just circling the navel forward and back and around in relation to the mat. So it's not a very big movement. Use your ab muscles, use your back muscles, use your side muscles. Starting to warm up the lowest part of the back. Warm up around the hips. And then start circling the other way around, please. You can use the breath with this as well, exhaling as you circle toward the back, inhaling as you circle forward. Don't worry about that. Now come back to center. Let's make it a bigger movement. Lean forward. Circle to the right. Lean back a little bit. Circle to the left. Lean forward. Keep going in the same direction. And again, if you want to use your breath, inhale gently as you circle back. Exhale gently as you circle forward. Still going in the same direction. Next time you're stretched forward, circle back, go to the left and back, leaning back a little bit to the right as you're back there, coming forward, and going left and back and right and forward, without turning really your torso, going sideways, but it may turn just a little bit. One more time. And come back to center. Hold your knees or below your knees on your shins, high on your shins. And arch inward and forward, lifting your chest without moving your head. Think about keeping the bottom of your chin parallel to the floor the whole time. Round back again, not tucking your chin. Definitely not lifting your shoulders up. Arch forward, and round back. You know what you could do if you wanted, and if you have the ability in whatever you're watching, or you can put your phone beside you and use your camera on video and record yourself. See what you're doing, which you may not be aware of, because there's some things that I know I do that I'm not aware of unless I look at myself or I see myself. A little bit more, inhaling, pressing forward. Excuse me. Now come to center. Use knee, put your hands on your shoulders. Twist left and right, gentle twist. Move a little bit more quickly, with a little bit faster breath. If you want, you can inhale left, exhale right. You can do it slowly or somewhere in between. Elbows stay straight out. You don't move your arms and hardly move your torso at all. You don't do this. The elbows stay out and you turn the whole torso. Again, if you had a recording of yourself doing it, you might be surprised. Come back to center and curve side to side. If you want, again, with the breath, you can inhale as you curve to the left and exhale as you curve to the right. This really is good. This whole little warm-up is good for the spine, paraspinal muscles, synovial fluid. It helps get it moving and flowing. It's a good little wake-up routine, or a no-day routine. Back, center, let your hands rest on your thighs or your knees. Lift your shoulders up, shrug them up this time, and then press them down, make your neck long, tuck your chin a little bit. Again, if you want, with the breath, inhale your shoulders up and exhale, press them down, long neck. Loosening up, warming up the shoulders, warming up the neck muscles. This is good for the brain, thyroid, a little bit for the immune system, part of it. Shoulders down, and tuck your chin, circle your head, whatever way feels right for you. Circle the other way, please. Next Thursday, we do not have class, obviously. I think you figured that out. Although it may say in the schedule, the invitation I send, come back to neutral, because it's just every other, it's automatic. It's set up. It doesn't know to skip holidays. So we are skipping holiday. Okay, now we're going to start the flow. Please be on a blanket. If you have any issues with hips, backs, knees, please have a block or another blanket folded up for underneath challenged hips or knees. As we go through this, please use whatever props you need for your body. But we're going to start with the right leg crossed in front. You can have it out a little bit if that feels better. If you can keep it in, though, it's safer for the knees. So we're going to change sides. We're going to exhale our way down into a forward bend. Slow, controlled exhale. Try to squeeze the back of your throat. You know how when you polish your eyeglasses, right? You polish them. Feel how that squeezes the back of your throat, right? Or like a snake, or a vampire. You're like a vampire. But you do that through your nose. Keep your mouth shut, but you still squeeze. You still get that same sound, right? Like I guess you call it Darth Vader. I do sometimes. And you also squeeze it the same way when you inhale. So if you polish your glasses with an open mouth, both directions. So you can, I don't know if you can hear that. I think the microphone's better now, so I think you can hear. And with your mouth open, it dries out your throat. So that's not a good thing. If you can't breathe through your nose because of congestion, you do it through pursed lips. But it's hard to squeeze your throat and do pursed lips. Yeah, you can only do pursed lips, but that keeps the air moist and it also slows it down. Squeezing your throat or pursing your lips makes the air passage more narrow, so your diaphragm has to work harder. It's a muscle, so it's working a little bit harder. But it also makes you breathe more slowly because the air passage is narrow, so you have to breathe more slowly, which is good for you. Okay, that's called Ujjayi or Ujjayi breathing, squeezing the back of your throat. Try to do that. If you can't, that's okay. Just breathe normally for you through your nose or pursed lips if you can't through your nose. So right leg is crossed in front, and we're going to change legs after we come back up. So you take a deep inhale. Slow, controlled exhale as you forward bend. Now, as you inhale your way back up, put your hands behind you, still inhaling, cross the left leg in front, still inhaling, lengthen your spine, and exhale, forward bend. As you inhale up, change legs, so you're still inhaling and you're changing legs, right leg in front again. Exhale, forward bend. So try not to have to hold your breath on either end. Inhale up, changing legs. Exhale, I'm going to make my breath loud. To pursed lips the next time, so right leg in front, inhaling. And inhale your way back up, cross your right leg in front and stop. And just breathe. Now think of this. This is the starting and stopping position. This is where you want to come back to. So you know you've done everything on the other side. You come back to right leg crossed in front and you stop. You don't do a forward bend when we start to add more. Because we may do 3 of something and you will move at a different speed than I do. So once you see what we're doing, you move with your own breath and try to remember the motions. We're just going to do one more, and we're just going to add 1 to this so that we add 1 and we practice that for maybe 4 or 5 times, and we add another 1 to it, so then we'll be doing 3 and then we'll be doing 4. And with your breath, you'll be going at a different speed than I will. I will probably end a lot after you if I kept going. I will probably try to go with a faster breath because I know that until you've had years of practice of controlling and slowing down your breath, generally you can't go as slow as me. So I'll be going a little bit faster than I would normally go for myself. Once you see what we're doing, try to do it with your eyes closed. Just go with the breath. If you miss a movement, and I do, I'll say, whoops, I forgot that. I miss a movement often. Once I get into the flow, I'm not really that concerned with what comes next. I try to remember and I try to do it, but it's okay if I forget. And it's okay if you forget when you're working on your own. So we're going to add in a twist. So we're going to inhale up, and then we're going to twist. And then we're going to come back and change legs and do a forward bend, inhale up, twist on that side, and come back. And you're going to try to keep your breath slow, but you're going to have to change legs maybe a little fast so that you're there by the time you're done with your inhale. So you're all ready to do the exhale. So right leg is crossed in front. Remember, we're going to add in a twist, but everything else is the same. Inhale, lengthen your spine, nice slow breath. Exhale, support yourself wherever works for you. Do a forward bend. You're going to inhale up, keeping the legs the same. You're going to exhale into a twist to the right, right hand behind you, left hand And then we're going to inhale, center, changing legs as you inhale, getting all ready. Exhale, forward bend. Inhaling up. Don't go into the twist till you're done with the inhale. And then exhale into the twist to the left. Inhale back to center, right leg in front. And exhale, forward bend. Now do it at your own speed. Do it 3 more times for a total of 4. We already did 1 together. This is 2. Each time you come back to the right leg crossed in front, your starting position, then just stop. Okay, we're going to add something onto that. But we're going to do the same thing 1 more time. We're going to add something to the breath part, so that we don't add another move and something to the breath part. That's a nice twist. That's not too complicated. When you inhale, and you're doing it slowly, after you're completely full, pause for a second before you go into the next part. Remember, the inhale always lifts you up, or it brings you back to the center. That's always your inhale. Your exhale carries you down or carries you into the twist. And pause at the bottom of the exhale as well. So, for example, this is how it might look. I'm exhaling, 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 exhaling. I'm holding it out. And I'm inhaling up, inhaling, 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 and I'm holding the inhale. And then I go into the twist with the exhale. So you have that pause, both at the bottom, at the top of the inhale, and at the bottom of the exhale. You have that pause before you start the other half of the breath and the other movement. Does that make sense? I hope so. If not, email me, and I'll try to describe it a little bit better. Right leg in front, we're going to go through the twist, the forward bend and the twist routine again 1 more time. We come back to starting, which is right leg in front, then stop. And we'll do the next, we'll add on to that. So inhale, hold it for a second, and then exhale, exhale, forward bend. Hold the exhale out for a second, inhale up again. Hold the inhale for a second, exhale, twist to the right. Pause at the bottom of the exhale. Inhale back to center as you change legs. Pause at the top of the inhale. Exhale, forward bend. Pause at the bottom of the exhale. Inhale up. Pause. Exhale, twist. Pause. Inhale, back center, right leg in front. Did that make sense? That little pause. And it gives you time to think about what comes next. It also means you finish the breath and you have that second or two of silence before you move into the next. Okay, after the twists, for example, we'll forward bend, we'll come up, we'll twist. When we come back from the twist, we're going to stick the front leg straight forward. The left leg's going to, and then you're going to exhale down over that leg. And then we're going to inhale back up again, pausing, and change to cross-legged with the other side. We'll do it together, at least the first time through. And then I will do it without talking, and you will do it with your eyes closed and just relaxing. And doing it gently, don't stress it. But if you don't want to do the straight leg forward, just do the twist more. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Hold the inhale for a second. Exhale, forward bend. Hold the exhale out. Inhale, back up. Hold the inhale. Exhale, twist right. Hold the exhale out. As you inhale back to center, stick your right leg straight forward. You're inhaling as you move, so hold the inhale. And then you're all ready to exhale over the leg. Hold the exhale out. Inhale back up, left leg in front. See how I use my hands to help myself cross leg. Finish. Hold the inhale. Exhale, forward bend. Hold it. Inhale up. Pause. Exhale, twist. Pause. Inhale back, left leg forward. Keep inhaling. Pause. Exhale, forward bend. Pause. Inhale up, right leg in front. That's the whole sequence. This is the starting and ending position. But try to do it on your own. Try to just close your eyes. Go with the flow. Go with the breath. It feels wonderful. And let's do it 2 more times. Both sides. So that'll be a total of 3. We just did 1 together. So 2 more times, and then you'll come back to your starting position and you'll stop. Okay? Again, remember to hold after the inhale for a second or 2, and hold after the exhale for a second or 2. back of your right leg crossed in front. Six. That's 2 more times. Whoa, it always makes me so relaxed. I generally don't do it with you. Ooh. Okay, we're going to do alternate nostril breathing. While we're on breathing, alternate nostril breathing calms the central nervous system. And you can, if you have the facilities or you know somebody, you can hook yourself, your brain up and everything up, and you can see how it changes the brainwave pattern, how it calms the central nervous system, slows your heart rate. It works. It's simple. It's easy to do. When you feel stressed, go into a room, close the door, say, I'll be back in 5 minutes, and do alternate nostril breathing. It lowers your blood pressure, as some of you have found out at doctor's offices. For the first time maybe ever in your life, you have a normal blood pressure when you're there. It's just so simple and so beneficial. And it's balances the left and right hemispheres of the brain. There's so much. Breathing is so much, and there's so many different ways, different techniques of breathing. You do different things. This one for the holidays, wow, and relieving stress. 2020, we should have been doing this every day. You're going to use your right hand to close your right nostril, pushing against the outside of it. To exhale and inhale through your left nostril. After the inhale, pause for a second as you close the left nostril with your right index finger. Then you exhale and inhale through your right nostril. And then you change sides. So you change sides after each inhale. And it's just like that flow routine. And you can add on to that flow routine. That flow routine, do it with your eyes closed. Do it with your shoulders relaxed. Do it with your forehead relaxed. Don't frown, trying to concentrate. Be relaxed. You can even lean back against a wall. You can do it lying in bed. It's another way to help you relax to sleep. We're just going to do it we only have a few minutes, and I'll do it. At least I'll start it with you. And then you will be on your own. You won't even know because your eyes will be closed. Right? So take a deep inhale. Close your right nostril with your thumb and exhale slowly through your left nostril. Inhale slowly through your left nostril completely. Pause for a second as you change. Index finger closes your left nostril and you exhale through your right. Inhale through your right. Close your right nostril, exhale through your left. Close your eyes. Change sides. After the inhale, you hold the inhale, you pause for just a second while you change sides. After your next inhale, take your time and release your nose. Open your eyes. And you're done. A wonderful rest of the day and the weekend. If I don't see you Saturday, Sat Nam and Namaste.